Hey, we're on part 3. So let's get into it. You're probably like, oh my God, this is my 3rd video. Where are the tricks at? And that's another thing. We don't call them tricks to their face, bro. They're clients. And you're a provider. They're clients, you're a provider. Technically we say 304, because that's what the internet says these days, but you're a provider, they're clients. Not tricks, not to their face. That's like being like, yeah, I got the junkie over there. Like, no, don't call it a junkie. Depending on if you have a website or not, or if you're texting them, regardless, it shouldn't be too much correspondence back and forth. Most of y'all, since it's not high end, if you're just starting, you're gonna be more so the low end, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't do nothing too cheap and mess up the game, in my opinion. Like, because if you messing up the game, you mess it up for yourself too. So when you start, you're gonna have like a phone number or email to get in contact with these people. Ideally, they're gonna say, hey, my name is John. I want to book 2 hours with you at your hotel, or this is my address. It probably won't go down like that. It'll be like, hey, we free? Like, you know what I mean? Try to avoid all that back and forth correspondence, because you're going to be talking to a lot of different people. You really don't have time to be texting, and most of them, probably like 95% of them, is going to be time wasters. So if you're trying to get like quick money, this is not the game for you to get quick money at all. The girls that try to come in here and get this quick money end up messing up the game, because they come in trying to get quick money and just do any and everything for the low. Now, while you're corresponding with this potential client, you're looking for red flags or anything weird. If he asks about specific services, just go ahead and block him. He might be the police, or he might be a fantasy booker. A fantasy booker is the type of dude that gets excited. He gets a thrill, if you know what I mean. He gets a thrill from the thought of planning to book you. So he's like, yeah, we're going to do 2 hours. What are we going to do? What do you like to do? Time waster. Also, if you set your prices at certain rates, you don't get the bad clients for the most part. You could still get a bad client, but think about it. Like, if you have lower rates, you're more likely to get the trashy clients. But don't try to be like, oh, I'm just going to use higher rates. Okay, well, if you use higher rates, more than likely you already have your own type of clientele built up. You already have a good source of income coming in. Higher rates is going to be way less volume. Also, they don't know you just yet in the industry, so it's just like, who is this person? It might be a scam. Like, you haven't built up your reviews or anything for you to be acting like a high-end person. Also, these tricks and stuff, they're not green. You're the green one more than likely. But I don't mean that in a bad way. These tricks, they sit on these sites day in and day out. They know who's new. They have their own forums where they communicate about girls and about other clients. They talk about everything. They're 10 steps ahead of you. Just know that. So don't try to be like, oh, I want $500, and then like everyone's telling you no. Then you try to be like, okay, I want $300. If you say that this is 500, it's 500. Sometimes a trick will make a fake number, and like he'll be talking to you on his real one and on the fake number, and trying to see which rate is best.
Woo! In the words of Ric Flair, she said a lot. She said a lot, and we about to do a deep dive. We about to do a deep dive into everything that was said. Let's start from the very beginning. This was very informative. Let's go.
Hey, we're on part 3. So let's get into it. You're probably like, oh my God, this is my 3rd video. Where are the tricks at? And that's another thing. We don't call them tricks to their face, bro. They're clients.
I said that in How to Be a 304 part 1 or part 2. I said that. I told y'all I'm very knowledgeable about the lifestyle, aka the game of what they call it. To call a guy a trick is a derogatory term. To call a guy a trick is a derogatory term. It's like it has this negative connotation to it. The proper way or the real way or the most respectful way to call to call a guy that's in this game, the most respectful name to call him either a client or a customer. That's like calling them prostitutes. They don't like being called that because it's a derogatory term. So they use escorts, they use call girl, they use 304s, they use streetwalker, and many more other names that I can't think of off the top of my head that's more respectful and it's respectful. It's not disrespectful. It's respectful. It's all about respect. It's all about respect. It's not a derogatory term to call a woman an escort or a 304. The same thing. Well, we men want the same respect back. Don't call a man a trick. It's a negative, ugly, derogatory, nasty term, like calling y'all a prostitute. It's an ugly, nasty, derogatory term. It's the same thing. So to get respect, you got to give respect and vice versa. Don't call those guys tricks. Call them clients. And like I said before in the last video, either part 1 or part 2, low class 304s call them tricks. High class upscale 304s call the guys clients or customers. And she confirmed it.
You're a provider. They're clients. You're a provider. Technically we say 304 because that's what the internet says these days, but you're a provider. They're clients. Not tricks. Not to their face. That's like being like, yeah, I got the junkie over there. Like, no, don't call it a junkie.
Exactly. That's like calling someone who have a drug addiction a junkie. That's a derogatory term. You call them an addict or something of that nature. It's more respectful. So she was using that as a metaphor. The same thing as calling the guys tricks. It's derogatory. Call them a client. It's more respectful. Just like the 304s want respect and don't want to be called prostitutes and want to be called escorts or whatever else respectful. The same thing goes for the guys. Respect goes both ways.
Depending on if you have a website or not, or if you're texting them, regardless, it shouldn't be too much correspondence back and forth. Most of y'all, since it's not...
I know a lot about the game, but she taught me something that I never knew. Not too many 304s are very talkative in the very beginning when you're trying to link up with them. They're not very talkative. You might find once every blue moon that's very talkative, either in person or on the phone while y'all trying to get together. If y'all talking verbally or if y'all talking through text. Most of the time it's very like straight and right to the point. Da 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 do da 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 do da 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 do. Boom, that's it. It's not like a conversation where y'all trying to get to know each other. That's extremely rare.
High end, if you're just starting, you're gonna be more so the low end, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't do nothing too cheap and mess up the game, in my opinion. Like, because if you messing up the game, you mess it up for yourself too. So when you start, you're gonna have like a phone number or email to get in contact with these people. Ideally, they're gonna say, "Hey, my name is John. I want to book 2 hours with you at your hotel."
Stop the cap. It's extremely, I know she was just using an example, but it's extremely rare to non-existent where someone's first time meeting you, they're going to book 2 hours. because they don't know what they're gonna get. They don't know if this is gonna be a good experience or a bad experience. So most guys start off either low, like a quick visit, that's like 15, 20 minutes, or a half hour visit in the beginning. They're not about to start off with the 2 hours or 1 hour and waste their money. Well, I don't know. Some guys do the 1 hour. They do the 1 hour if the woman is attractive enough and they feel that, and the guy might feel, damn, she's bad. She's a baddie. She's beautiful. She's a model, supermodel, top model. Oh, I'm gonna want to spend way more time with her than 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So they might book that hour going off of looks. Don't even know how the experience is going to be, but just going off the looks and how beautiful she is, they might just book an hour. But 2 hour, that's a little bit of a stretch, because 2 hours you're gonna be paying 2 hours worth of money, and guys do not start off high with their prices if it's their first time dealing with you. Now they may spend 2 hours or more after dealing with you, and if they're, y'all hit it off or whatever, then the second time he come back and the third time, then he might spend 2 hours. But he's not about to spend 2 hours in the beginning. Either be a quick visit, a half hour visit, or an hour visit. And you very rarely, very seldom is going to get an hour visit the first time.
Or, this is my address. It probably won't go down like that. It'll be like, hey, we free? Like, you know what I mean? Try to avoid all that back and forth correspondence, because you're going to be talking to a lot of different people. You really don't have time to be texting, and most of them, probably like 95% of them, is going to be time wasters. So if you're trying to get like quick...
That's very true. The 304s nicknamed it, or gave it the name time wasters, because this guy's just calling just to call, or texting them just to text, faking as if as though they want to link up, knowing that they don't. But here's where the women don't understand men. You got to act like a lady and think like a man. Now, she's called herself teaching y'all something. I'm about to teach y'all something as well. The guys that they called time wasters are not really wasting time. What they're doing is getting turned on. She's going to go into it a little bit more, and then I'm going to explain. But it's a turn on to know that you got this filthy, nasty, freaky son of a bitch that you're texting or conversing with on the phone. That gets people aroused. That gets the guys aroused, hot, horny, just knowing he got this. And he basically done got a hot and horny for free. He done got turned on for free. He done got a nut for free, just knowing that he's conversing and talking to this nasty, freaky thing. Whatever he's supposed to be coming there to get to pay for, he got it for free, calling or texting. It's a turn on thing, not a time wasting thing. So they're not time wasters. I don't know what name you want to call it, but they turn oners. So that's what they're doing. They're turning on for free instead of coming to you to pay to get turned on. That's what those guys are doing.
Money, this is not the game for you to get quick money at all. The girls that try to come in here and get this quick money end up messing up the game, because they come in trying to get quick money and just do any and everything. Follow.
Yes.
Whoa!
She said girls that come in and just to get fast money, quick money, come in and doing everything for the low. She's basically saying it's a misconception that the lifestyle is a fast money game. It may be an easy money game, but I don't know about fast money. Because most of the times I told y'all this in How to Be a Thrill for part one or part two, I said this. Most of the time, the majority of the time, the money comes slow. Every day is not going to be $1,000,000 day. Every day is not going to be $100 day. I mean, hundreds of dollars day. Every day is not going to be thousands of dollars day. Sometimes, some days, you're going to not make nothing or barely nothing. Every day is not ching ching day. And when people get in the game, that's what they think when they first enter the lifestyle, that they're going to make this quick little easy money, and that's no. It just don't work that way. Because you can have a fast day. I told y'all in the first or second video, you can have a fast day on Monday, but then you can have a slow day on Tuesday. You can have a fast day. You can have a fast week, 1 week, and then the next week you can have a slow week. Same thing. You can have a fast week. You can have a fast month. 1 month just raking it in. Then the next month, nothing. And that's how the lifestyle is an up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down lifestyle when it comes to money. And when it comes, it's up and down, up and down, up and down when it comes to everything. Emotions, which emotions is not supposed to be in it, but just everything. Mentally, it's up and down, financially, up and down, emotionally, even though your emotion switch is supposed to be turned off, but still, your emotions supposed to be, everything in that lifestyle is up and down, up and down, up and down. You're not on this constant high, natural high when it comes to this lifestyle. And that's a fact.
Now, while you're corresponding with this potential client, you're looking for red flags or anything weird. If he asks about specific services, just go ahead and block him. He might be the police, or he might be a fantasy booker. A fantasy booker.
That's not necessarily true. Just because he asks for specific services doesn't mean that he's the police. Some guys just want to know what they're getting before they get there. Because they don't want to come there thinking that you do anal, and then and come there and you say, no, I don't do that. And it's a waste of his time, a waste of his gas, a waste of his money, a waste of a trip. He's basically there for nothing, all because he didn't ask on the phone. No. So that don't necessarily mean he's the police. The police can be anything, anybody, but just because somebody's asking specific questions doesn't mean they're the police. They just want to know what kind of services you perform before they get there, so they can make their decision whether or not they want to pay for it or not.
Is the type of dude that gets excited. He gets a thrill, if you know what I mean. He gets a thrill from the thought of planning to book you. So,
did not just say that. They get a thrill out of it. It's a turn on. Not the booking thing. It don't have nothing to do with booking. She's right. They do get a thrill out of it. They do get a turn on, but the turn on is not the whatever she said about the booking. The turn on comes from knowing that he is talking to this nasty, filthy slut. That's the turn on. I mean, because I know I'm not going to make no money off this particular video, but I don't know how to stay in the community. I'm blunt. I'm brutally honest person, so it's hard for me not. If y'all see that I'm struggling with my words, that's because I'm trying to find the right words to say at the right moment and stay in the community guidelines at the same time. I don't like being censored. And, when you trying to stay in the community guidelines, you're censored. So when you find me messing up my words or struggling with my words, that's what that is. Because I'm used to just shooting from the hip, saying how I feel, brutally honest type person. But I don't cut no corners. I don't sugarcoat nothing. But they just the turn on come from knowing that they're talking to this nasty, filthy woman, and they don't have to pay to get a nut. They can get a nut just by texting you back and forth. And depending on what y'all conversation about, it can be about nothing, it can be about something. It's still a turn on. So she's right. They gets a thrill, and they basically getting a free thrill out of you. They don't have to come to you, or you don't have to come to them for them to get a nut or to get a thrill or to get turned on. They doing it just by the phone call and by the text. So it's not that they're wasting time. They're getting turned on and getting free service out you. That's what they're doing. It's not that they're wasting time at all.
He's like, yeah, we're going to do 2 hours. What are we going to do? What do you like to do? Time waster. Also, if you
turn oner,
set your prices at certain rates, you don't get the bad clients for the most part. You could still get a bad client, but
that's true. That's true. A lot of women complain about all the drama and sketchy guys that they are in the game or in the lifestyle. But she said it, if you set your prices low, you're going to get a certain type of clientele. If you set your prices high, you're going to get a better quality clientele, like you're going to get people with something to lose. You know, if you set your prices high, and people with something to lose ain't about to come to you with foolishness and nonsense and drama and danger. People with something to lose is not trying to do all of that. But a person that doesn't have nothing to lose is going to bring all that into y'all lives. And when y'all set y'all prices low, that's the type of clientele you're going to get. But it's a double-edged sword, because if you set your prices high, you're barely going to get any clients.
Think about it. Like, if you have lower rates, you're more likely to get the trashy clients. But don't try to be like, oh, I'm just going to use higher rates. Okay, well, if you use higher rates, more than likely you already have your own type of clientele built up. You already have a good source of income coming in. Higher rates is going to be way less volume.
Isn't that what I just said? You're barely going to make money if you set your prices high, and you're stubborn, and you're stuck, and you set on your price. You ain't gonna make no money. You ain't gonna make no money. You ain't gonna make no money unless you're the baddest mother. You gonna have to be bad, like some supermodel, top model, extremely sexy, extremely pretty, extremely beautiful. Then you may make a little money. But if you just, okay, average woman that's, can, do herself up and look real pretty and cute, you ain't gonna make no money with them prices high. You just not. I mean, you gonna have a guy come through every now and then, but you're not about to be balling. You're not with your prices super high. You're not. Like I said, not unless you're some top model looking thing. You're just not.
Also, they don't know you just yet in the industry, so it's just like, who is this person? That might be a scam. Like, you haven't built up your reviews or anything for you to be acting like a high-end person. Also, these tricks and
right, high-end, low-class 304s love to act like they're upscale 304s, and you can tell a difference. You just can.
Stuff, they're not green. You're the green one more than likely. But I don't mean that in a bad way. These tricks, they sit on these sites.
You see, she keeps saying tricks, even though she said she wasn't going to call them tricks. She is a low-class 304. She's talking about herself, basically, in this video. She's a low-class 304 that tries to pass herself off as a high-class or upscale 304. You can tell. You don't go by what she says, go by what she do. You can just tell, because like I said, upscale, high class 304s do not call the men tricks. Only low class, lower level 304 call the guys tricks. It's very telling on what type of 304 that you have. Well, it all depends on what kind you like as well.
Day in and day out. They know who's new. They have their own forums where they.
And that's true. These guys be on their website day in and day out. No, day in and day out. It's like to some guys, what y'all see in social media and y'all strolling every day in and day out, all day. It's their form of social media. They're like you stroll on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, X. I'm probably missing one. The TikTok. How did I miss? That's how these guys are strolling on these escorts websites, and they stroll on them daily, just like it's their form of social media. I mean, it really can be social media, but of course, the nature of it keeps it from being social media, but it's like a form of social media to those guys. So what y'all do and see and strolling every day on that, it's the same thing they get. So she's right. They know who's new. They know who's been around for a while. They know this. They studies this thing day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. They can tell you things about that website that you probably can't even tell them about the website, and you're posting on it.
Communicate about girls and about other clients. They talk about everything. They're more like they're 10 steps ahead of you. Just know that. So don't try to be like,
because they on it every day, all day. Like you're on your social media every day, every day, all day. They're on their social media every day, all day, and their social media is not Instagram or TikTok. They are Facebook. Their social media is the escorts websites. They can be on in the morning. They'll get back on in the afternoon, on their lunch break, when they have just a spare time to stroll and just all that, like life. When y'all strolling, just throughout life, y'all strolling. That's what they do every day, all day. Sometimes they may call, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're not even strolling to call. They're just strolling just to see who's on there. It's like a free Playboy magazine. You know what people saw in Playboy magazines back then? That's all that is. You basically they're showing it. They got the videos, they got the pictures, and it's a magazine. Imagine if back then they had this. Imagine if you can go through Playboy magazines back then when Hugh Hefner had a Playboy magazine, or the Hustler magazine when Larry Flint had Hustler, and then you actually can pick up the phone and call or text that girl. It's a turn on. It's a turn on. Whether or not you call them or not, it's still a turn on. Just to flip through the pages, just to stroll through the thing. It's a turn on.
Oh, I want $500, and then like everyone.
Then you talking to them and texting them? Or even bigger turn on. What you going to pay to get, they done got it for free just by talking and texting you. Even if the conversation's not even about nothing. Even if the conversation's not even about anything sexual. They still, it's a turn on thing. It's still a turn on. You can be talking about, through the text message, you can be talking about fruit. I don't know. Or anything silly. A TV show. It's still a turn on to those guys, just to know that he's talking to this thing that he just saw in this magazine, or I'm using magazine as a metaphor, but on this website. It's extremely super turn on.
Telling you no, then you try to be like, okay, I want $300. If you say that this is 500, it's 500. Sometimes a chick will make a fake number, and like he'll be talking to you on his real one and on the fake number, and trying to see which rate is best.
I believe some guy that's extremely true, but that's not even a female. These females wouldn't even guess that. That's these guys that get with these girls and they pillow talk and they done gave her the game. That's all it is. Because it had to be a guy that, because trust me, as a female, she didn't figure that out by herself. For any other female that's in the lifestyle did not figure that out by themselves. That's guys getting with them, pillow talking, and to figure that out. Or, pimp spinning, because that's a man thing. You would have to be a man to know that, what she just said last, that these guys would talk to you from one number and talk to you from another number, and and you'll never know that you're talking to, you think because you're talking to so many different men a day, you'll never know that you're talking to the same guy. But they're trying to see if your race, your prices change for. It's not even just about prices. It just say if you block them for some reason, they ain't gonna do nothing but call from. It makes no sense to block them because they're just gonna call from a different number, and this time they're gonna disguise the way their text that make not make it seem so obvious that it's them. They're gonna disguise the way their text, the way that their text, the way that they word their text, or whatever, uh, just to get with you. So that same guy that you blocked, you can wind up actually linking up with them. And y'all can actually have a good time. Wind up having a good time, feeling each other and everything. Really cool guy, cool girl, but you didn't block them. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't have never knew that he was a cool guy if he would have let it stay blocked. But he waited a while. He didn't call immediately. He probably waited a while, like a month or two, or maybe less. He called you from a different number and acted as though he was a different client and hooked up with you. What sense did it make to block? Whew, I know this video was very informative on both sides, on her side and my side, but hey, I'm about to keep this content, this 304 content coming. Thank y'all for staying. Thank y'all for making these numbers go up on this video, and I will see y'all on the next. Don't forget to check out my main channel, No Judge Zone, New Orleans Street Interviews. Come explore the dark side of New Orleans. This is 304 Sweet Daddy, and I'm out, and I'm gone like what water.